No footage due to copyright claims. Please do not hate me for doing this. And don't give this a dislike because of it. In the beginning of the episode, Rick is with his family seen in a Shonewise, which is a restaurant based off of Denny's. Everything seems to be normal until Rick tells Jerry to bend himself 12 times, and once Rick gets mad that Jerry only folds himself only 6 times, the holograms of his family disappears. Rick is still in jail and inside a hologram with an alien that works for the prison. The alien tries to be kind to Rick, but with Rick's behavior he alters the hologram to turn the alien's coffee into a butt. Back at Earth is where Rick's real copy of his family besides Morty, who is actually the real version of Morty. They are eating breakfast together, but ever since the Galactic Federation took over, people on Earth get paid and eat pills. Jerry has been promoted 6 times for working at the Galactic Federation for reasons he doesn't know. The family also owns a robot now named Conroy who serves the family's needs. At jail again, where Rick is inside a hologram with an alien worker of the Galactic Federation, the alien gets Rick to take him to the memory of the day he discovered interdimensional travel. To persuade Rick to take him back to his memories, the alien shows a hologram of the day Rick lost his daughter and his wife, while also showing where Rick was on 9/11 and his favorite sports blooper. Returning back to Rick and his family's house is where Summer is looking for a way to escape Earth to save Rick. Morty tells her not to and persuades her not to, but she is so desperate to turn things back to normal. She decides to dig up another Rick's body after being yelled at by Morty that there is no changing anything. Rick and the alien are driving in the hologram at prison to a hologram version of a McDonald's for Rick to do a bit while his brain is melting. Rick and the alien arrive at Rick's memory of the house to his past self on the day he discovers interdimensional travel. When a futuristic Rick comes back in time to tell past Rick about it, he says that Rick will never figure out the secret to regular teleportation but will discover something far greater. After digging up a dead version of Rick, Summer finds another interdimensional portal gun. Morty argues again and tells Summer to put it back and pretend that they never found it. But she decides that to be a hero, you take chances, and Morty grabs the portal gun out of her hands and decides to put his own coordinates of a dimension on the gun. Before leaving, the robot Conroy turns into defense mode and tries to take the portal gun so he can take it to the Galactic Federation. Before the robot Conroy can grab onto Morty and Summer to retrieve the gun, Morty shoots a portal on the ground to the dimension he originally was from. But trying to escape, they go into the dimension with a bunch of butts for a brief moment and come back to the dimension where Morty is originally from. After the robot Conroy being destroyed by the original Jerry, Morty tells Summer that the dimension they are in is his original one with his original family. Coming back to Rick and the alien in the memory of Rick discovering interdimensional travel, the future Rick tells the past Rick that he could do anything he would want with this discovery and he would only need himself. Past Rick wants to pass on this opportunity, but future Rick says eventually he will change his mind, and with that leaves the dimension. Rick's wife Diane comes in the room asking if past Rick made a breakthrough, and the past Rick says he may change on his mind on the science idea. Diane tells past Rick they should take their daughter Beth to get some ice cream, and past Rick agrees. Back in Rick and Morty's original dimension with the original Rick and Morty family, the Jerry in that dimension decided to destroy the interdimensional travel gun so Morty cannot leave and they will kill Summer. After Morty yelling at his original family, the other copies of Rick come to freeze the original family and almost do the same to Summer and Morty, but Morty explains who he is. One of the Ricks question where Morty's Rick is and Summer tells them, but that puts them into danger. When past Rick pulls the car and so he can pick up his wife and daughter Beth, a bomb was placed into the garage where the two were and kills them right in front of Rick. This causes Rick to finally create a portal gun. After the alien and Rick witness this, the alien scans the information of the equation on the ground and sends it back to the Galactic Federation. But finding out it was a fake equation and actually is a virus, The alien is tricked and Rick has full control of the hologram and beams himself out while leaving the alien in. After Rick beams himself out of the hologram and inside the alien's brain, he takes control of the body and tricks the other workers to give him access to leave the area. But before other alien can give him the code to leave the room, a bunch of Rick clones come to kill the aliens and destroy Rick's old body. Rick kills off the clones and leaves the Galactic Federation to escape. When coming to Citadel, the clone Ricks explain to Morty and Summer that their Rick is dead after being killed by the group that tried to kill Rick. Rick comes to the Citadel in a body of another Rick, and when a clone Rick tries to communicate with Rick, Rick transfers to the clone's Rick mind and tells the other clones to blow up the ship he was in. In the court of the Citadel, Summer and Morty are on trial as their lawyer as being a clone Morty. Morty tells the judges to let Summer go and to take him. He wants Summer to have a normal life without all the crazy events and to move on. The judges tell Morty that Rick is dead, but Morty knows he is alive and are coming for the Citadel. Rick comes into the room where you can teleport the Citadel to another place in the universe, and Rick decides to teleport it into a Galactic Federation base. This starts an all-out war between the Ricks that are in the Citadel and aliens that are in the Galactic Federation base. With the Citadel being doomed, a clone Rick takes Summer as hostage so Rick will give up and stop killing all the clone Ricks in Galactic Federation. And the other Ricks have two to play: Rick, laser, scissors for Morty. Rick tricks the clone Ricks and kills more Ricks. Rick hands Morty a gun to trick the clone Rick by pretending to kill Rick, so the clone Rick would let Summer go. Once that is accomplished, Rick gets up and kills the clone. Morty didn't know it was a trick until after he supposedly shot Rick and almost thought he killed him. After the Galactic Federation being under attack, Rick finds a control room to change the Galactic Federation's government's money from 1 to 0. Morty and Summer offer ideas, but Rick stuck with his plan. All the money disappeared and the president and the other men in the building are questioning what to do. Since they have nothing left, the president decides to kill himself, while the others fight over who gets what from the president. There is an all-out riot and all the aliens and humans are rebelling against each other. Jerry is a coward and decides to crawl his way back to his house to get to safety. Jerry gets back to the house and tells Beth that the Galactic Federation collapsed. Jerry questions if there is anything else to lose and Beth says only each other. After that moment, Rick returns with Summer and Morty and tells Beth and Jerry he is the reason the Galactic Federation collapsed. Jerry doesn't want Rick back, so he asks Beth to choose between him or Rick. And there is a long pause before it goes on to the next scene. In the end, Rick makes his lab visible so he can work on inventions again. Beth tells Rick that her and Jerry are getting divorced and leaves to make sure Jerry is gone. Summer is excited to be back and tells Rick about what her friends are doing, so Rick pushes her out of the room. Morty is sad that his mom and dad are getting a divorce, but Rick tells this was his plan so the Galactic Federation and Morty's dad would be gone so he could go on more adventures with him. And if Morty told anyone, Rick would deny it and no one would believe Morty. This is when there is a moment just like from the very first episode of the show in the ending. Tammy, a character from Season 2 who is the reason why Rick was in jail, is in a scene right after the credits of this episode. She is recreating Bird Person in a robot version of him. She has some of the aliens from the Galactic Federation helping her, and the name they came up for this robot Bird Person is Phoenix Person. Thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos in the future. Anyways, thanks guys and peace out.